Welcome back, folks, to Simple Guy Outdoors. I'm Spence. I'm going to be starting this one out with a story. So, 2 weeks ago, my wife and I went up the canyon and we decided to have a fire. Really fun. Chopping up a bunch of wood back when I had my Vaughn axe back before the incident. And we were having a really good time. About a half hour in, you see this couple show up, start making a fire, and we're like, oh, cool, yeah, it's fun, like, everybody's enjoying the park. And we were just kind of like watching them. We were kind of wondering, like, are they married? Are they just dating? You know, I don't know, stuff we think about. And so about an hour later, this guy comes over from, the guy that was on the date. He comes over and he's like, hey, could I get just a little bit of that wood? And I was, go ahead, man. Sure. He took some wood over there and he started trying to start the fire again. And then, we were kind of watching, we wanted the date to go well for him, and we could see that the fire was going out. So we just brought him a little bit more wood. Oh, shoot. We got a situation over here. Sorry about that. Anyways, we brought him some wood. Their fire got a little bit better. Then, half an hour later, we saw that it was going out. We went to bring him more wood, and they just said, you know what? Can we just have your guys' fire? And we're like, sure, we're on our way out. So anyways, the whole point of this video is I'm trying to save you guys a little bit of embarrassment if you take a girl on a date to make s'mores or something like that. This is going to help you out a lot. We're going to be talking about fire starters. So what I did is I went to Walmart, got some cotton balls, got some paraffin wax. This is in one of the food aisles, actually, just so you guys know. I went to the craft section. Wasted about 10 minutes. And some petroleum jelly. What I did was I took a cotton ball and I soaked it in Vaseline. This is kind of a classic. An egg carton. I just melted some wax and poured it in there. And then I took 1 part wax, 1 part Vaseline. Granted, I just kind of eyeballed it. And then I melted it in a double boiler. And I soaked a bunch of cotton balls in it. And I got this. And they all work pretty well. I think if you got dry wood and you got the right size, you could start a fire with each of them. I did some testing. This one burned for 5.5 minutes. This one burned for 2.5 minutes. And this one burned for 7.5 minutes. I also tested a cotton ball just kind of lightly soaked in the wax, and it burned for about 5 minutes. And so they all work pretty well. Kind of the downside to this one is your fingers get all greasy. The plus is that it's a lot more malleable. Like, you can just rip it open and get the fibers exposed if you want to use a ferrocerium rod to light it up. That works really well. This one, it's just barely the cheapest because the egg carton's pretty much free, and then this wax costs about $4. So you pay $4 to make a bunch of these. I don't think this one would take a spark. Maybe you could get it to. I'm not entirely sure. And really, just the problem with this is this egg carton doesn't absorb the wax very well, so you don't get a ton of wax in it. And then this one burns super long. The only problem is it was just hard for me to get a bunch of them soaked evenly. I soaked 3 or 4, dipped them got them really saturated. Then I squished them around with a bunch of them, but throughout I was kind of burning my fingers because there was some hot wax in there. So that's kind of the bummer with this one. All right, update. What I'm doing with these cotton balls, I got the paraffin wax and Vaseline melted in there. You want this real close so you don't drip everywhere. You just give it a little dunk. Don't burn your fingies. Little drip. Boom. Done. It doesn't make your fingers all greasy like this one, which I like. And also, if you put it in a bag, the bag isn't just soaked in Vaseline when you're done, which is good and bad. I mean, if you're out in the woods and you got like chapped lips, or maybe it's like wintertime and your fingers or your hands get really dried out, the Vaseline one's actually good for that because then you just rub it on your hands and you feel better. So yeah, that's kind of what I did. I think this one will work fine. If you're feeling frisky though, try this sucker out. And yeah, that's all I got. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and have a great day.